Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 499. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow's the big 500. Spontaneous trip to the card shop. Yes, I woke up, didn't think I was going to go to the card shop. Did the show, didn't think I was going to go to the card shop. Did some shipping. Started listing on File Exchange. I need to get out of the house. So we're going to talk about my spontaneous trip to the card shop yesterday. I don't really have much else to talk about because that basically took up most of my day. Because I didn't go to like a local card shop. This was a special trip. This card shop that I went to is about an hour and a half away. Left around lunchtime, had some drive-through on the way. And then I was back back just in time for dinner. Got home a little after 6 last night, and then just couched it. Finished Inventing Anna. Great program based on a true story, which I actually, as we were watching the finale, the final episode last night, I was Googling like the backstory and just wild, just wild. Check it out if you haven't already. Flicks Inventing Anna. Anna is played by I think her name's Julia Garner, and she's the female in Ozark. So quite the different characters between the two shows. So it's a great show. So we've got Jenny with us, who may take a card shop trip today. Diego, what's up? John catching live for a change. Hello from the UK. John, awesome that you're in here live. Appreciate it. Shaw Cards, good morning. Nice card shop run. Zach says good morning to Zach. Talking to Jenny. So yesterday I woke up. I actually woke up early yesterday. I've been sleeping in. The last, it's just like the winter blues, it's like and here's the thing about, I work from home. I sell baseball cards. Like that's the dream, right? But it does get, day in, day out doing the same thing. It's kind of like Thanksgiving, man. Like the weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, you're foaming at the mouth. You can't wait to have that huge Thanksgiving meal, that Thanksgiving dinner. And then you have it. Awesome. You can't wait for leftovers. So you have leftovers later that night or the next day for lunch. And they're still just as good, maybe even better than you have it again. And each time it's like it's not as good as the last. And by say of Thanksgiving weekend, it's like you're like hate eating the Thanksgiving leftovers. And that's kind of what it's like working your dream job. Like even though it's like you work with baseball cards all day and all night, because I'm doing this like around the clock because, well, it's winter in Wisconsin. So I'm not getting out on the bike. I'm not, getting out of the house. So I needed a refresh. Like I needed to just, my refreshes are typically just Costco, Walmart, Target, grocery store. And that's it. It's also too cold. I don't want to take a long trip unless I'm actually going like away for a weekend. I don't want to, go on just a random card shop trip if it's 10 below zero or snows in the forecast. So yesterday's forecast, when I recorded the show yesterday, it's here we are up and down like a bouncy ball. The days leading up to yesterday. So what was yesterday? Wednesday. So like the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, it was like I looked down at my computer temperature thermometer thing on the toolbar, 2 degrees, 4 degrees, 9 degrees, 11 degrees. Jeez, it's freaking cold every morning. It's February. Yesterday it was like 42. I'm like, there's got to be a glitch. No, reached almost 50 degrees here. So as I'm typing away, I heard birds chirping yesterday, and it was like signs of spring are ahead. And it's like, man, I need to get out of the house, like just get out of town. I need to get out of town for a little day trip. And I'm listing, I got a bunch of shipping done in the morning. And then I started listing on File Exchange, ended up putting up about 150 cards on File Exchange. It's only 10:30. I'm like, I'm going to Freeport. I'm looking through the bargain boxes, check their hours, and planned my trip to Freeport. Again, it's like an hour and a half, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it. So before I talk about it, let's get into the chat. Jenny's doing some shipping. I need to get out of the house today. There you go. It's a whole -4. Oof. Can't actually go outside, so a trip to the card shop will be an outing. Herman, what's up? Good morning to Herman. Johnny Boy Cards, good morning to you. That 70s Card Show morning doing planks while listening to good content. Awesome. John, I saw your comment. Burger Chef. Thank you. That's what it is. Burger Chef. Thank you. Herman did a break last night. I did not. My favorite things is listen to you read off the player names. Calm and therapeutic. 74 down in Georgia. I've got 20 right now, but I don't know what the high is supposed to be. I know there's a big snowstorm going through central Illinois today, up to a foot down there. Thankfully, none here. Speaking of tops, so after the show, Tops hobby boxes went for sale on the Tops website. So before I left the house, did some shipping, and I think I was going to leave it like I had some errands to run before I hit the road. So it was like 10:45 minutes of shipping, log on to the Tops website. It's a waiting room. I'm like, I'm just sitting here anyway, doing my shipping. You know, if nothing happens by 11, I'll just close out the window and go about my day. So I saw it at some point, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I saw it refresh. Hey, I can be on the Tops website now. And I go to the boxes, Top Series 1, there it is in all its glory, $80 a hobby box. Hey, that's a good price. I think other retail outlets online have it around 125. So there's no way in hell I'm paying 125 for it. But I'd pay 80. So I'm like, I'll do two hobby boxes, which I think that was the limit anyway. So I put 2 hobby boxes in my cart, go to checkout. Of course, you've got they do offer multiple shipping. Now with Tops website ordering has been it's like throwing darts at the walls. They've had all kinds of shipping issues, and it's like, I don't want to spend this type of money on a hobby box and not get it for a month when I can go to my local card shop in a month and probably get it for less than what I'm paying today. But if I order from Blowout, which is where I typically order, I know I'm getting it release day for the most part, or the day after. So I thought about that, and it's like, I didn't want to go economy because I know economy, but you don't want to do overnight because sometimes it works where economy actually ships faster than overnight. I've seen those nightmare stories where somebody spends $30 on overnight shipping and somebody who got the free shipping economy gets it before them. So I went with the middle. I went with like the standard shipping, 5 days or whatever, 3 to 5 days, $18 plus tax. Comes out to be like $95 or $100 per box. And I'm like, you know what? I just don't want to do it. I'll run to Target this week. There'll be plenty on the shelves. We talked about the odds and how much it's been, how to be. Which, by the way, I know there was a lot of people like crying and cursing about how overproduced it is. Top Series 1, who cares if it's overproduced? It's supposed to be overproduced. We can't have it both ways. People get pissed off that there's not product for the kids. It's too expensive. So now it's not available. That's the biggest gripe. It's not available. Now it's going to be available. So which one is it? Do you want no product on the shelf, or do you want a lot of product or some product? Do you want to actually go on a random Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, any day of the week and have product on the shelf? You can't have it both ways. Yes, there is some middle ground, but you just got to live with what you get. It's Tops Series 1. Who cares if it's overproduced? I don't care. It's not junk wax or two, this much. I'll go to Target. I'll go to Walmart. There's going to be plenty of it out there. I can wait. I'm not planning on, I will rip and flip, but that's not like my intent with Series 1. My intent with Series, if it was, I would have pre-ordered a case. My intent with Series 1, it gives me excitement, but like I said yesterday, I'm just not excited for Series 1 this year, and mainly it has to do with, well, there's a freaking lockout, and that's pissing me off because I want baseball to start. Soapbox number 2 is beginning now. They're meeting today. I'm not optimistic. They're meeting today. I just don't think that just being a realist, my honest, real thoughts today, the meeting, I think they might make some concessions. I think there's still going to be some things that they're going to fight over. No deal's getting done today. And I don't know when it's going to get done, but I'm getting pissed because I want to get my trip planned. I want to get out of here, go to Arizona for a week. Back to the chat. Shaw Cards, snow's finally melting in Columbus, 59 yesterday. Yeah, we had about 50. I don't think it hit 50, but it was inching close. I think on my drive home, I think the highest temperature my thermometer in my car, excuse me. And the snow, yes, the snow's melting. My dog's happy because she has a much wider swath of grass to use as her restroom. So she's happy. John says, you mentioned Costco. You can get $100 Fanatics gift cards for 80 at Costco. Might want to stock up. I tried that a couple different times. And for some reason, it wasn't working for me. Now, this was several months ago, and I can't remember what I was after. I think it was the Bowman Mega Boxes or Bowman Chrome Mega Boxes that they had. And I know I think they limit you to 10. And so I tried to put an order of 10 in. It didn't work. And it was actually running on my card and then canceling. So I don't know if it was like my credit card, and then I tried a second credit card and it did the same thing. But nobody else has had that problem. At least nobody else that I have seen has had that problem. But for some reason, I'm having, and this is the website that I was on, the Costco website. And I am a member and I entered all the right stuff. I used 2 different credit cards. For some reason, it was accepting it and then canceling it right away. I don't know if maybe it was a glitch on Costco's website at that time, because it was just like a 2-day window that I was trying it. So I'm not sure what was going on. I might want to try it again just because we're getting back into baseball season, and that's what I'll go after. What's up, Dan? Good evening to you. Kerman says, did you see this Chrome Thomas? Zach. Justin, good morning. Making breakfast and listening. Thanks for tuning in, Justin. Dan says, found a single Burley I needed in a lot I almost looked over. They said they'd sell it individually to me. Happy about that. That's awesome. Dude, it's not even 74 in my house. I'm sold. I remember when a hobby box cost $50. Yeah, it was, and that wasn't too long ago, man. That wasn't long ago. Let's see. Herman says Mike Summer said best if you saw his tweet. Let's see. I don't know what's that in regard to. Oh, maybe talking to Zach. Turkey Cards, is Topps opening day still a product? I believe so. Oh, and Jenny answers, yes, believe it comes out March 15th. Actually, one of the best products for price. If not looking for huge hits, can get a case for under $900. I opened opening day for the first time. This probably would have been 2018 or 2019, because I was working the Illinois high school basketball state finals, and I always like, it kind of gives me, and when I worked basketball finals for the IHSA, I had great front row seat, courtside, and basically I took like advanced stats. I would do like for the TV broadcast crew, and I just sat right next to them and handed them slips of paper, like, Johnny Johnson has scored the last 12 points for Waukegan, or St. Rita hasn't scored in the last 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Unfortunately, they don't have like stat software that tracks that stuff. So I had to do the math, and the clock's running, and I'm like trying to keep. I've got notes, I've got chicken scratchings all over. So I didn't have as much, like, all of my work was confined to the game, as opposed to like when I broadcast, then I have to take notes and do all that. So when I do basketball, I'll get down to Peoria the night before the games begin, and I just like to. Sometimes I'll meet some friends out for a drink in the hotel bar, but sometimes I just like to get to my hotel room depending on what time I get into town and open some boxes. And so I did opening day, and this was 2018 or 19. First time I'd ever opened opening day, and I pulled an autograph out of opening day. I know especially out of retail is the odds are not with you when it comes to autographs in that product. So I was very happy with my opening day break. Herman says, I'm ready to see my world champion Braves play. That 70 show says you can only use their branded card unless debit. Interesting. So if I go to the website, okay, so let me make sure I'm getting this correct. So if I go to the Costco website to order the gift cards, I have to order them using a Costco branded credit card. Otherwise, I have to use a personal debit card. So that's probably, I use a credit card whenever I buy stuff. I use a credit card to get those points, and then you just pay it back immediately. So that could have been the problem, because I don't think we have a Costco credit card. We just have the Costco card, and then use our regular credit cards. So if that's the case, that was my glitch. I believe that's correct. Same as in store. Now, see, in the store, I don't use the credit card. See, in the store, we don't have a Costco credit card. We just use our personal credit card. So maybe that's not the case. I don't know. Jenny says you probably opened in 2018. We all blew our budgets and bought everything in 18. That could be, and I can't remember. I can't remember what year it was. It was 18 or 19. I can't remember. I believe that's correct. Same as in store. U.S. champs, not world. Who came up with world anyway? And Dan retracted his message. So yesterday, I'm doing file exchange. I'm excited. I'm going to the card shop. As I mentioned, I love their bargain boxes. They have 50-cent boxes. And Zach says Bo bought 40 Javi Baez tops now in 2018. It was 9 tops living. Yeah, that was 2018. I was buying everything. Yes, I unfortunately I was. Excited going to Jennings, and I think my first trip to Jennings in I think Dan U.S. Sports Cards on Twitter said, "Is this your first card shop run since going full time?" And I thought about that. I believe it is. I believe yesterday, March. I wish it was March. February 16th was the first time I've been to a card shop in months, and it predates my going full time in the hobby. And I have a card shop 15 minutes away in Madison that I haven't been to since like last April. They just don't have anything I want. And because I don't want retail at 2x when I can go to Target 2 blocks away and get it for retail. I think that's around the time that when I found out that of retail and I saw multiple times as I was in there digging through his, kids would come in with retail, get 2 blocks down the street and sell them to him at, if it was a $20 blaster, he'd pay like 30 or 35 and then try to sell it for 60. And then somebody had went in there and he was selling, I think, UFC Chronicles for $60 a blaster box, and there were still like 10 on the shelf at Target 2 blocks away for 20. So that's when I stopped going there. It's like, okay, when you can get some of those products still in the store, and that's kind of your great, I don't like it. So anyway, Jenny says you buy these cards at 50 cents per. How much minimum do you have to sell on eBay to make profit? That's a great question. So when I go through the bargain boxes, um, I kind of have an idea of what I can sell the cards for. And I'm hoping that they give me a little bulk discount off that 50 cents per, but I price everything when I'm, mentally pricing everything as I'm going through the cards like, oh, I can sell this for a minimum of $1.50, $2 on eBay. Um, I assume my cost on the card's going to be 50 cents. Um, but I did get a slight discount. I ended up buying over 400 cards yesterday. He charged me like a dollar, 185, which comes out to be 45 cents per card. So I got a little discount on the cards, but some of them, just a couple that I looked up last night on eBay, 5, 10, $15 cards. So the minimum, so if I sell a card for $1.50, that's basically my break even, which is my base. That's now my new base price on low end cards in my eBay store is $1.50 free shipping. That is basically break even on a 50-cent card. That's a wash. So um obviously it's not ideal. What's the old saying? Break even makes you starve or something like that. I can't remember. So that's not the goal. But at least it's you sell a couple cards for $10, that cost you 45 cents. That gives you, and then the extras where it's like it's kind of a gamble. You're throwing it out there like, okay, I know, I can move this for $1.50, $2. It's going to be slim margin, but it drives traffic to your eBay store, and sometimes that's worth the break even in itself. And I'll buy vintage out of bargain boxes at card shows just to get some of that, just to kind of mix up my eBay store and have some of that where it may drive traffic that's not coming to my eBay store. So it's almost like a marketing expense as opposed to cards for my inventory. But basically, on a 50-cent card, $1.50 free shipping is the break even point. So I'm going through and what do I look for? And I've talked about this on a previous show, but it may have changed since then. Yesterday strictly went baseball because I'm tired of listening. Well, it's football. It's like the offest of the off season for football. Um, just ended a couple days ago. So it's the offest of the off season. So, wasn't interested in football. And you may say, isn't that the best time to buy? Yes and no. When it comes to these bargain boxes, no, because they've been picked through during the season. I think a good time to dig through bargain boxes for football is as you in really any sport is as you get close to the season. And here's why. Going into the season now, we're in baseball. We're getting ready for baseball season. Some of these baseball cards have been sitting through the off season. So now it's almost like it's speculation, prospecting. Like, okay, there's some of these, and that's how I did really well going into last season was, taking some speculation on, the market's going to boom for this player, this player, this player. So it's kind of a gamble. Yesterday, in for veterans, one of the players that I found a lot of and pulled a lot of was Steven Strasburg. Now, yes, he's a pitcher and he is getting, up there in age, which is hard to believe. Steven Strasburg is getting up there in age. He's like 10 years younger than me, I think, or how old? Probably 8 years younger than me. But anyway, um, I pulled like there were 5 like early Topps Chrome refractors, which few bucks a pop right now. And here's the thing: right now, I could probably move them on eBay, say 250, $3 per card. But if he gets off to a hot start, and I don't know if he is oft injured, so that's an issue. But if he does have success, it's one of those that this could become a $10 card. So that's kind of Strasburg. There was some Strasburg rookies. There were other players that, and here's another one that I look for. rookies and early cards of future Hall of Famers. There were some early Albert Pujols cards, second year, third year, fourth year cards. Um, let's see who else. Buster Posey. There were some early and some serial numbered Buster Posey cards. I think Pujols is a definite first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. Buster Posey, one of those where, and I actually had a show dedicated, is Buster Posey a Hall of Famer? I think he is. I don't think he's a first ballot. I don't think he'll get in on the ballot, but I think he'll eventually get in. So I pulled a lot of Buster Posey cards, and he's recently retired, so there's still somewhat of a market for him. What else was in there? So some of there was I think Adrian Beltray. There was one or two Adrian Beltray rookie cards, and Beltray, I believe, is he on next year's ballot? I think he's on next year's ballot, or maybe in 2 years. 2 years. He's on the 2 years. Next year is Carlos Beltran. So those are the type of players: Joe Mauer, Buster Posey, Albert Pujols, guys recent hired. And then there's anytime I see first Bowman Chrome, I'm really within the last 3 years. So if it's 2018 to 2021, a first Bowman Chrome, and if it's 2021, any first Bowman Chrome. Pitcher, hitter, doesn't matter within the last 2 years. If it's 2018, then it's kind of like, well, if it's a pitcher, and sometimes, those guys are already falling off the radar. So I've got to be a little more picky on 18 and 19, going back 3 years, 4 years. But if within the last 2 years, I'm definitely pulling them. Any Chrome, first Chrome refractor, boom, they're mine. Colors, Mega Box, Mojo refractors, I'm pulling some of those. And I pulled a lot. Like I said, I pulled over 400 cards out of the bargain boxes yesterday. So I'll probably make a video. I do need to buy a new tripod so I can get those videos running again. I need to do the Spider-Man break. So I'll get those. Jenny said, I sold more football yesterday than baseball. I have, my days vary, and it depends on what I list last. So the last couple days, I've been listing more baseball. I've been selling more baseball. When I list a bunch of football, I sell more football. When I list basketball, I sell more basketball. So it's kind of, I don't know what you've been listing, but if you've been listing football, that tends to move. You'll tend to make a lot of sales once you list. DR says, how many more cards do you think you would be selling a day if the MLB lockout wasn't going on still? That's hard to say. More, I mean, but I don't think it's really hit us yet. And hopefully it doesn't hit us. Hopefully a deal gets reached here in the next few days, and they can report to spring training in the next week. I'm sure it's more, but I think it's minuscule. I think it's a very small percent of, because pitchers and catchers are just we're scheduled to report this week. So it really hasn't impacted us yet. Once we get to the end of February, if there's still not a deal in place, that's when you really start to see, a difference in a negative impact, because that's when, the actual games, spring training games, are scheduled to begin the end of this month. But right now, there's no action. Players are this week is reporting week. So it's, people aren't really going down there to watch anything just yet. So I don't think we've seen an impact. Maybe, a small percent, but I don't think we've seen much of a difference. You're looking for these future Hall of Famers to set aside, or you're listing right now? That's a great question or point. A little bit of both. I don't like setting cards aside, but that's why I like having volume at all times, because I can go through an old box and discover, oh, hey, here's some Ohtani rookies that I didn't know I had. And I was selling Ohtani rookies 2 years ago for like $2 on eBay, and those, last year at his height, those were selling for like $10, $15 or more. So I like to have those little surprises, and it does work both ways. Sometimes you may have a $10 card today, and oh, something happens, and next year it's a $2 card. Um, so I do a little bit of both. Sometimes I'll set aside like some of the first chrome color and refractors that I pulled. Those I'll just sit on. Um, there's some other players that future Hall of Famers kind of sit on. Um, I like to put them in the store just to generate some interest. So it's a little bit of both. But I don't like I'm not hoarding Buster Posey rookies or Albert Pujols early cards. Because those are moving because the market is actually ahead of everybody thinks, oh, Hall of Fame year, in 5 years, the Albert Pujols run is going to begin. But really, it's starting now. It's starting now because there's a lot of speculators that are doing the same thing that I'm doing and others are doing in picking up these future Hall of Famers. So you try to get them for 50 cents and push them on eBay for 3-4 bucks. And there's a market for that because people are like, oh, hey, I can get this for $3 now. In a couple years, it might be 5 or 10. So that's, it kind of goes both ways. If a card I pulled yesterday of Albert Pujols for 50 cents is selling today for $2, it's probably going to be stashed away and I'll find it in a rainy day in the future. But if it's an Albert Pujols that I can sell today for $5 and my cost was cents, then it's going on eBay. And there's no sense in when I can have $5 today at a 50-cent buy-in, there's no sense in waiting 4 years to make an extra dollar or two. Just doesn't make financial sense. So, move it today for $5. But if it's only $2, my net profit on $2 is about 50 cents. So, if it's that minimal, I'll just sit on it for a couple years and maybe it doesn't sell for more than $2 in 4 years and it's just kind of a wash. But that potential is there. That it's all speculation. So that's how I approach it. And I know, there's no wrong way to approach it. Sometimes we make wrong decisions. But that's just how I kind of look at it. Random thought, I think we might see the MLB Hall of Fame need to revisit historic closers as we see the modern day bullpen shift. Do you think we'll see any more closers get into the Hall of Fame? That's a good point. And I think most of the I don't want to say I think deserving is kind of a slap at the guys that are on the outside. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because I think the top tier closers, relievers are already in. Um, and I know you can make the case for, and I can't think of any off the, Billy Wagner because he's on the most recent ballot. Billy Wagner. I think we're at the point where it's like he's just, I don't think we're there. I don't think, the voters are there. Maybe in the future. But I don't think we're at. I think we're at the point where I think pretty much all of the closers and relievers that are deserving, and I don't like that word, but it's the word I'm choosing. Um, I think they're in. I think the Hall of Fame closers are, potential. And you can make a case for the Billy Wagners, and I know there's probably a couple others out there, but I'm my personal thought is, I think everybody's in that should be in. Zach says I bought football from Jenny and baseball from Bo yesterday. There you go. Thank you. John says just tried to get a hotel for Wander's induction ceremony. All sold out. Sold out. So I was actually that's kind of what I like about sitting in a card shop is you get to hear other voices when you're sitting in your office just at home, with the dog. Um and my wife's out, working. Uh I listen to podcasts, but it's nice to hear other voices like in the room and getting other hobby talk. So a customer had come in, I'm in the back digging through, the boxes and somebody walks in and told a story about how UPS or FedEx delivered. They had, a few boxes of tops supposed to be delivered. they attempted delivery but didn't even knock, he said, and so now he can't pick them up. And I guess they get the only option they gave him was to return them, and he's like, "No, I want them. Can I come pick them up somewhere?" We have that option here locally. We have like the distribution far away, like 10 minutes away. And so you can schedule, like, if you miss delivery today, you can call them up and be like, "Hey, I missed my delivery. Can I pick up?" They're like, "Yeah, between," it's weird hours. It's like only between like 7 and 8 p.m. It's like a short window. After 2017, during my wedding week. So um so he's talking about that, and then he said the Wander Sketch one was pulled, and I guess it was put on eBay, and then it was taken down. The seller took it down, but then reposted it, and it is it is up. And let me bring it up. So I when I got home, I looked it up, and it's like five. I think it's listed for 500,000. Wander Franco 2021. Let's see. Oh, they dropped the price. It was listed at one time. So, and I actually took a screenshot. So, yesterday afternoon, the Wander Franco, it's like a die cut one of one. Um, 2022 Top Series 1 Wander Franco rookie original shaped sketch die cut. It was originally listed, excuse me, originally listed for $500,000. $500,000, but you got free shipping. It's been reduced. There's been a price reduction, and now it's only $35,000. So that's a hell of a deal. So it's the sketch card, shaped sketch card, one of one by the artist John Giancaspro, hand drawn chase card, 35 grand or best offer, and you get that free shipping. Um, so yeah, so that's up. So I found that those are some of the little tidbits you learn when you're digging through 50-cent boxes. It's probably at CSG by now. A few days ago, I sold a disc golf memorabilia card of a guy for $55 that I had pulled out of a collection. Thought it was maybe a $2-3 card. I will tell you, there is a huge market for disc golf. Has this they have their community. The disc golf community is much like the barstool community. It is crazy, because that same year I pulled, I think it was numbered to 75 of that disc golfer. And what year was that, Dan? Was that like 2017 or maybe 16? Um, I was still living whenever that set was released. We were living in our old house, so it was 2000. It had to have been 16 because yeah, we moved into this house in 2016. So it would have been 2016, I think, when that disc golf card was in Allen and Ginter. Um, and I thought, and that was still like I was still like walking through the weeds of what sells, and I'm thinking, oh, disc golf card, but hey, it's numbered. Maybe it's $20, and it ended up selling for like $100. And that was 6 years ago. And I remember tweeting like in the early days of Twitter. This was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was watching disc golf on ESPN, and I was enthralled by it. And I tweeted it, and the disc golf community caught on. This was 2012 Twitter, so this is semi early days of Twitter, first 5 years of Twitter, I guess. And it went like, to me, it went viral. Like I think it had like 200, 300 retweets over a stupid sentence about disc golf. Like I just tweeted out about, wow, disc golf is more fun than I thought, and with a picture of watching it on ESPN. So yeah, the disc golf community, it's wild. Bo, if I buy a 500K card from you, I don't want free shipping. I want that card. If I sell, yeah, I am not, and I don't know what my cutoff would be for like price, like 500K, absolutely, that's going to be hand delivered, like no doubt about it. Um, I would fly to John in the UK, or Dan and George over in Korea. I'd take an international flight to hand deliver $500,000 card. I'm not taking any chances on shipping that. Like domestically, what would your price be if you sold a card? If you sold a card, what would it take? What price point would it take? And say you had to foot the bill of the flight and the travel, where would it be? I'm thinking for me it'd be 20. I think 20K minimum. I think, once it got to like in the thousands, 5,000, 10,000, I'd ship it, but it'd be like overnight white glove type service. But I think 20K is where it would be. It's a deal. I just need the 500K now. I think, somewhere around that 20,000. That's where I would spend, and flights really aren't, you can do a round trip most anywhere for less than 1,000. So, if you're making, if you're selling a card for 20K, $1,000 in expenses on flight and, meals and maybe a hotel stay. But I think that's my price. I think somewhere in that 20,000 range, I'll spring for a flight and hand deliver it. Maybe less. It depends. If somebody's in like, if it's February and somebody from like California or Florida buys it, like nice California, like SoCal, I'm not going up to Northern, sorry. Sorry, Don. I'm not going to Northern California in the winter. But although it might be nice, when we talked, it was pretty warm up there. But I'll go to SoCal. I'll go to San Diego in February. So I'd hand deliver it for less. Outside of Georgia, no chance it gets hand delivered by me. Depends where it is. If it were Zach, I'd go on a road trip for 5K. Yeah, and if it's a road trip, it's far less. Now I'm talking through it. So if it was like within 6 to 8 hours, I'd drive it for much less than 20K. But I think 20K is like, that's when I'm going to fly to Dallas, San Diego, Miami, New York, Boston. But if it's a right regardless. Yeah, absolutely. But I think around 20K, 5K, I'll do a drive. I'll get for 20K, I can get a decent RV, decent used RV. 5K is 10 years of our budget, but I appreciate the offer. Zach, you can have all of my Frank Thomases for 5K. There's probably only $20 worth there though. So yeah, so that's about all I had for today. I just wanted to share my card shop trip. I hope to do a video. If I make it out, I've got a bunch of shipping to do now. But today's Thursday, so I'm gonna make a Walmart run. Today's Thursday, yes. So I'll make a Walmart run to check out for Series 1. Our local Walmart stores get stocked on Thursday afternoons. So when I go to Walmart, I'll get a new tripod so I can I'll do a video. I owe you a vintage breaks on Spider-Man. It was voted by the chat. Speaking of vintage nostalgia breaks. So one of my dealers reached out to me. We were chatting back and forth after the last show. He's the one that I had bought the Charlie's Angels, Battlestar Galactica. What else did I buy from him? And he threw in like Power Rangers and I bought the Nintendo. He threw in G.I. Joe, a whole bunch of packs. So and I said, hey, if you find the Simpsons, the 1990 Simpsons Topps cards packs, or Howard the Duck, I'm interested. And so he's like, okay, I don't have any now. But I'll let you know. So he messaged me last night and he's like, hey, I've got both 1990 Topps Simpsons and Howard the Duck. I'll bring him next week to the show. So I will have Simpsons and Howard the Duck. So that gives me motivation to get those dang nostalgia breaks up and running again. So next video I'll try to tonight. I'll try to because I'll get the tripod. I'll make a Walmart run this afternoon, get the tripod, hopefully find some blasters of Series 1. And I'll be excited. Like if I see them on the shelf, yesterday I said I'm not excited about Top Series 1. When I see them on the shelf, I'm going to be excited. And when I get home and rip into that first pack and see that first card of 2022 Tops, I'm going to forget the stupid owners are locking out the players and are stubborn old codgers. Get a deal. Soapbox number 3. I'm going to be excited. And so I'll do some videos, and I want to get a video done of what I found yesterday in the bargain boxes. Okay, so Dan ran into Panera for coffee, 2016. Yep, 2016. That's what I thought, because I can remember. Isn't it funny how our memory, like some of the memories we have are like just random? Like I was sitting on our patio, and when I sold that disc golf cart, I think it was in an auction, and it was a Saturday or a Sunday when I ended it, and I remember sitting outside. It was in the sun. Well, Ginter comes out in the summer, so it was July or August, and I just remember sitting out there, probably drinking a spotted cow, watching my auctions end. I was doing a lot of auctions back then, and sold it for like $100, like $105 or something, and I was like, wow. So let's see. Speaking of Walmart, it drives me nuts how prices aren't well marked in the stores. Amen to that. I also hate that. Many times if there's like a associate nearby, I'll say, hey, can I get a price check on this? The last time I went in, they had penny sleeve, but they had the 100 packs of penny sleeves. And I'm like, oh, these are probably $1.50, which, I'll pick up 5 for $1.50 each. Now I've got ordered 20,000, so I'm good on penny sleeves for a little while. But this was before that order came in. So I'm like, I'm just going to buy $2.50 for 100 penny sleeves plus tax. So it was, what's 225, so about $2.67. So I paid 2.7 cents per damn penny sleeve. Because they weren't marked. They're just like thrown Walmart card sections are like the worst. So I totally agree. It's super sunny at 8 a.m. Spring is coming. Farrah Fawcett got locked out, hence Cheryl Ladd. If you didn't see the nostalgia breaks, Fawcett sticker. I don't know if it's. I think this is this Cheryl Ladd? Was she Kelly? I don't know where my Farrah Fawcett card. When I broke the padded up listing angles on eBay. Going to finally get to do a personal rip video for myself this week. Awesome. Got to head out. Have a great day. You as well. I'm out of coffee. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great Thursday. Tune in. Hopefully I'll have some video content on the channel later today and tonight. And it's Jacqueline Smith. Oh, okay. Jacqueline Smith. I get them. I know Farrah Fawcett. The rest of them I get confused. So have a great Thursday, and we'll chat with you tomorrow for episode 500.